there was a time where we needed to close on Sundays, and because we were open on Sundays. We have a company called Michael's that started raising literally hundreds of millions of dollars, and they kind of sent a note to us that they were going to bury us with their money, and that's what they were going to do, because they were raising a lot of money for their growth. And so we made the mistake of, oh, ye of little faith, we opened on Sundays. And so then there was a time that we just knew that the family was all feeling the same time. We're not supposed to be open on Sundays. And so, but at the same time, we didn't have the faith to wake up one morning and close all of our stores on Sundays. We just didn't have that kind of faith. So I'll never forget, I said, we'll close Nebraska, okay. Nebraska had 3 stores. So we closed Nebraska, and Lincoln, Nebraska, the paper in Lincoln, they caught word and they called our CFO and said, what's going on? Said, well, the CEO says that if things go well, we're going to close all the stores. And so I'm getting a copy, reading my own press, and we're going to close all the stores. And so God's just talking to me. You're going to be obedient if it's worthwhile financially. It all has to do with that. And I said, no, God, we're going to close all these stores. And that's when I said, we're going to close them all. But I still didn't have faith the next morning to close all the stores. So it took us about 18 months. And so every month we would close another state and another state and another state. It's kind of interesting because everybody says, God's going to bless you. God's going to bless you. And sure doesn't look like it. That's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing sales, things like that. But it took me, I think it was about 18 months, and we closed Texas. We have over 100 stores in Texas, but at the time we had about 60, so that was the last store we closed. So we, with our little faith, closed our stores on Sundays, and we thank God. And I find that sometimes when we're doing things that God asks us to do in that moment, it doesn't look good, but in the bigger picture, I think it's always the best thing to do. Just like when we had to sue the government because they're saying that we're going to pay for abortive pills. It wasn't good in the moment. Sales were not what it should have been. But in the bigger picture, God blesses us. So I haven't find that when I'm obedient, just within the last several months, the Lord has been dealing us about selling Halloween. Now, I grew up in a pastor's home, and it was a big deal for us. The only time of the year we got candy was at Halloween time. And so I was the first one out and the last one back. This was a big deal. And so we saw it more as the way we grew up, and we've had Halloween. And so this is the last year we'll have Halloween. Last year we earned $11 million in Halloween, but I know that God is going to bless us just to do what he asks us to do. So that's what we plan on doing. This will be the last year we have that. So in those environments, people have asked me directly in those things when we're obedient, does God bless us? He blesses us, I think, in the bigger picture always, and has done that, and not necessarily in doing something.